Today started off like any other day for me in the past week. I woke up, I started recording parts of my 4 hour long Cars Iceberg Part 3, and then in the middle of my early morning editing, I was sent this image by my friend Rashid Reviews. He said he originally saw it from Cars Diecast Reveals on Instagram. Here it is, the 2023 Cars Diecast checklist poster. I was not expecting this to come out. Then again, typically we see one around June of every year. Other than last year, we didn't see it until late because of Cars on the Road not wanting to spoil anything. But here it is, this year's checklist poster. Most of this stuff we knew about. If you follow Cars rumors closely, most of the re-releases on here we also knew about. But there are some really fun things to break down that we didn't know about yet, or that are just super nice to see confirmed. So I'm going to take a break from my iceberg editing to talk about the 2023 Cars checklist poster and go over my thoughts. High in editing, so it turns out that this was handed out at a NASCAR event. So yeah, that's where it came from, and that's why it's a physical copy, not just a digital image. Anyway, now this really isn't the highest quality image. It looks like somebody got a physical paper copy of this and then took a picture of it on a table. Luckily for us, Cars Diecast Reveals has uploaded some higher quality images of the new releases and some, but not all, of the re-releases. So at the very least, we have names for the new releases. It should be noted that this poster, as you can see, only covers singles. We don't see any 2-packs on this poster, which is interesting. Typically, they're included, but it almost seems like they just included singles to be able to keep all of them on one sheet. But yeah, remember, just take this poster with a bit of a grain of salt, because there are some characters missing because they're only being released in 2-packs. So if you're like, wow, it looks like there are barely any Cars 2 releases, that's because 2-packs are a thing that exists. Then again, I don't think there are any Cars 2 2-packs out this year, but you get my point. We don't see everything here because we don't have 2-packs. Obviously, we know we don't have a deluxe line this year, but just remember, there are no 2-packs here. We have things divided up into 6 different sections. Just like last year's poster, everything's color-coded. Cars, Cars 2, Cars 3, Cars on the Road, Cars Tune, and Disney 100. So let's begin with stuff from Cars. We've got Lightning, Mater, Sarge, and then stop already. Got our first interesting re-release, Donna Pitts. I believe I heard a rumor about Donna earlier on in the year. Yeah, I think she's been floating around for a while that she'd get a re-release. Also Patty, another car that's been rumored basically all year long. And I think we just recently learned what case she'll be in. Nice to see her back since Mario Andretti's also out this year and Patty is alongside him. We've then got Misty Motorcrass and Johnny Blamer, Magnet Face himself, 2 of the Piston Cup racers that haven't been released since before Cars 3 came out. I think the last time we saw both of these guys was early 2017. I think they're starting to hit stores now. Yeah, very excited about these 2. We have very few Piston Cup racers left to be released that haven't been released since before Cars 3. Eugene Carbareski, I know, hasn't. He's really the only one I could think of right now. I know there are a few others. We then have Lizzie, Andy Vaporlock back for this year. He may already be out, I'm not quite sure. Fillmore, Todd, who was one of the cars that was rumored for the longest time this year. We've heard of Todd since like January, I think. And it's just super cool to see him back. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be very excited to get him. I'm very interested in seeing what his Thailand variant's going to look like. I wonder how they'll pull off the dirty detailing on him. We then have our obligatory yearly Dexter Hoover variant. Don't forget, we also have our obligatory yearly Chris Rostopski. She's just in the 2-pack, so we don't see her here for whatever reason. Again, where are the 2-packs, guys? Anyway, we already knew about Dexter. He's the green flag variant. I hope one of these days they re-release the yellow flag one. It's been a very long time since we've seen that. No, we've recently seen him on the back of some card backs. Got Chick Hicks, Sheriff, and then our next very interesting re-release, Jay Schuster. Very cool to get this guy. This is another one of the Rusty cars. And it's just so cool to see all these rare Rusty cars coming back. Andy Vaporlock back last year and now this year. Donna Pitts, who isn't as rare because she's been re-released a few times, but Jay Schuster is another one of those like stupidly expensive Rusty cars where you're like, hold up, why is this guy so expensive online? So really great to see him. That's really cool. I don't remember him on any rumor lists, so that was a really nice surprise. I actually completely missed him the first time I looked at the poster. We've got Greg Candyman, last released in 2018. Nice to see him back. I know a lot of people are hoping his color will be fixed this year. Guys, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Hate to burst your bubble. It's not happening. Got Cruising McQueen, Krusty Rotor, Doc, the King, Sally, McQueen with Sign, Ramon, Luigi, Guido, Mario Andretti. All cars we've seen. All cars we've seen already. We then move into Cars 2, where once again we have very few World Grand Prix racers. We only have Raul, Francesco, and Jeff this year. They've really cut down World Grand Prix racers for the past few years. I don't really mind, honestly. We got all of them every year for the past decade. If you want to do a few less every once in a while, I'm fine with that. Also, you get a 5-pack now with several of the racers in it. So, yeah. Then we got Tubbs Pacer. Of course, the Lemons have been rumored since January. Whenever somebody's asked me, hey, when are the Lemons coming back? I've always said, heard rumors about it all year. And it's just nice to finally get that confirmation. I know we recently learned what case they'll be in. Yeah, Tubbs Pacer and Vladimir Trunkov finally coming back, and 2 great Lemons to pick, for the record. Of course, you could say, oh, why wasn't it J. Kirby Gremlin? He's a lot rarer, but man, great to have these 2. I actually don't have the regular Vladimir Trunkov. I only have the one with the parking boot, which is super expensive online. So it would be nice to get regular old Vladimir. Another thing collectors are going to be interested in seeing regarding whether or not these will look significantly different because of the Thailand variants, right? Finn, we've seen. Cars 2 McQueen. Then we have one of the London police. What's this guy doing here? Which one is this? I think this is Doug Speedcheck. Hi, update from me in editing. This one is Mark Wilson. Very cool to see him back for this year. There are a ton of these London police cars. They're all very, very interchangeable, but it's fun to get him, especially since we're also getting Miles with open hood. It's pretty fitting. But, yeah, I mean, it's cool to see him. It's cool to get him. I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent on him. There are so many of these guys out there. Hey, to all of you London police car stands out there, don't worry. This guy's getting a re-release. Oh no, I don't have him, so it'll be nice to get. We then have Miles Axelrod with hood up. This was a rumor pretty early on in the year that this guy would be getting a re-release. And then I think he got delisted, but more recently I've heard rumors that no, he still is coming out. Just like Lee Rosse last year, Miles with hood up was a chase back in 2013, and I can't believe he's back. I guess now they're going to be doing maybe a re-release of one chase a year, which I really have no issue with. And this guy is a super cool chase with the openable hood. Nice to see them releasing more versions of Miles Axelrod. We got 2 last year, and now this one. This one might just be my most anticipated re-release of the year. I'm going to do another video going over this checklist at the end of the year as sort of a reflection, like what I typically do. At least I did that in 2021. I don't think I did that last year. But, you know, one of my biggest problems with this year was, well, all the on-the-road stuff was great. It was just, like, we had really weak re-releases, and it's nice to see that in the last few months of the year, that is going to turn around. Then we have Chisaki and Suki, Mattel's favorite waifus. You know them. You tolerate them. Let's move on to Cars 3, where we have Paul Conrav, Heyday River Scott, Jackson Storm, you got Tim Treadless, Dirt Track Hudson Hornet, Patty, Ryan Inside Laney, Rich Mixon, Jet Robinson, Leroy Hemming. Yeah, I think we've seen all of these. Duke Coulter's Tailgate. I'm pretty sure Tailgate hasn't been re-released yet. Fair Game, Randy Lawson, nothing new. Pretty sure Randy's out as well, I think. And then we have Muddy, Rusty's Racing Center McQueen, Noah Gokek, and of course Breaker Boggs, the only new single this year to not be from Cars on the Road. Early, some leak from the back of Cars on the Road diecast packaging accidentally shows an image of Breaker Boggs as a car from Cars on the Road. It's nice to see that they've presumably fixed that by correctly marking them as a Cars 3 release. Now, Breaker here is honestly one of my most anticipated releases of the past several years. This is a car I've wanted for so long. I've always wanted the off-road Demolition Derby Pitties. I know you'll also be able to pick them up in a 5-pack, but yeah, glad to see that Breaker will be out as a single as well. I've heard that 5-pack won't be out until September, so I'd say, you know what, don't waste your money Just get Breaker as a single. I think I'll probably pick up two of Breaker because there are two pities. There are two pities in the movie. Then we move into Cars on the Road with the original Road Trip McQueen and regular Mater, and then the two expression variants. As you can see, they look like they actually have longer names listed. From what I've heard from other people who have looked at this a bit more closely than I have, apparently it just labels them as McQueen and Mater expression variant, which, I mean, that's fine. That is what they are. It is nice of them to actually differentiate between the two by referring to these as the expression variants. Then we've got Speed Demon, Rice Revsley, K Pillar Derev. We got Revo, Greebles, Gearston Marshall, the two other clown cars. This whole first row is stuff we've seen already. The Cryptid, Hunter McQueen, Doug, Adam Rodriguez, Racing Center Cruz, Griswold, and then we get an interesting one. Let's go. New car reveal right here. We have a ghost car, Mallory Car Hut. I love this name, and I genuinely love this release. I love how they pulled it off, guys. I was nervous about the ghost cars. I thought they would avoid them. We had Diana Giordato's Color Changer, which was an amazing release, translucent and all that. But, you know, you can't make a metal car clear. And for Mallory here, they did a really good job, man. It looks really, really good. Everything is painted green. It's very clever. They're doing the best they can. I really love how this looks. Now, I know we had rumors that we were supposed to be getting the Ghost Twins. I know there's a prototype of one of them out there. And I know there's a rumor that I think a ghost car is supposed to be in the next case. I assume that is Mallory. So what does that mean for the Ghost Twin prototypes, the Shining Twin prototypes? I could only assume they'll be in a 2-pack, which would be the smart way to go, right? Like how Mia and Tia are always in a 2-pack. You don't want to sell a single of a car that there are two of that are identical, other than Breaker Pogs, I guess, right? Then I have Road Rumbler McQueen, Road Rumbler Mater, who, man, his face leaked a while ago, guys, but he looks rough. Really good looking car. Other than that face, what is up with his eyes, man? That is, no, thank you. Jeremy, Pitsoposaurus, West Philanopus, and then we got Motto. And I'm a little disappointed to see that Motto is permanently in her wedding gear. They did the same for Mateo. It's just a little disappointing that Motto is always going to have that little flower crown on her. Yeah, hopefully one day we'll get a release of her without. Nice to see she's metallic, which is accurate and all that. But yeah, really nice to see her, obviously. We knew she's coming out. We knew she's coming out in the next case. But still, really nice to see. We then have Cave McQueen and Cryptid Hunter Mater. Unfortunately, no Cave Mater and no Maters from B movie, which is unfortunate. So we're still waiting on some of the Maters, but hey, that at least gives us some character variants to release next year, right? This year has been a bit more McQueen heavy than Mater heavy. I'm sure next year is going to be pretty Mater heavy compared to McQueen heavy. Got May Pillar Derev, and then Randy. Let's go. I know a lot of people, especially my viewers, are going to be pretty hyped for Randy. He looks pretty good. I think his red might be a bit too bright, but it is very cool to get Randy here. Randy's existence, I was recently aware of the Randy rumor, and I'm very glad to quickly learn that that is in fact true. Great to see Randy here. Not one of my most anticipated re-releases of the year, or not re-releases, new releases of the year, because he is just a red Steve Herschel, but still, he is very fun. Very fun to see, and again, like I said, I know a lot of my viewers are going to be pretty hyped for him. Randy Sweep. Alright, we got Niles Speedcone, who we already knew about, Deputy Hazard McQueen, and then our last new release here on the poster, we have Squat. Squat was one of the more prominently featured Road Rumblers, and she looks really good. I think it was a she, I believe. Squat turned out pretty good. I was a little disappointed by Jeremy. I don't have him yet, but I think he's a bit too big. But Squat looks pretty good. Very, very proud of how Squat here turned out. After Squat, we've got Mateo, who's also out. So yeah, that's it for On the Road. And then we move to Cars Tunes. They use the Cars Tune logo. We're only getting Tokyo Mater releases, but hey, it's good to get some at the very least, right? We have Drift Party Mater, Ito-san, Patoka, and Kabuto. There was a leak a while ago that we would be getting. There was like a Walmart listing for the Tokyo Mater cars of Drift Party Mater, Patoka, and Kabuto. And then eventually, Kabuto was, I'm pretty sure, delisted and replaced with Ito-san. But now it seems that we will be getting Kabuto, and he will be on a Cars Toon card. It's not that special for Kabuto, right? We've seen him before. We know Dragon McQueen's coming out in a 2-pack. Once again, character on a 2-pack that we don't see here. But yeah, for those of you wondering, Kabuto, I know some people are going to be freaking out because it looks like he has a different expression. He doesn't. This is just the prototype art Kabuto's always used. His prototype always had him looking off to the side. Doesn't mean Kabuto's release is going to be any different. And then we have the Disney Anniversary cars, the 6 we already knew about, plus Cruising McQueen, who we also knew about, who's going to be some sort of special edition thing. I think he might be a promotional item or something similar to that. I am a little disappointed that we're not getting a second wave alongside Cruising McQueen, but the ones we got were incredibly solid. And there you have it, guys. The entire 2023 Cars Diecast line revealed. Let me know what you think of the new reveals on this poster. I think they're pretty solid. I think they're a lot better than a lot of the other stuff we've been getting this year. There's always something a little disappointing with getting the checklist poster for the year, because now there aren't going to be any other surprises. We know everything that's coming out, but then again, we don't know all the 2-packs or multi-packs or mini racers, so there are still plenty of surprises left for this year. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I'm going to go get some breakfast now. I just woke up. Bye now.